Hey everybody, I'm Ian Bremmer, your friendly neighborhood political scientist, and I'm here to welcome you to the GZERO World. It's a new weekly show that I'm launching to talk about an incredibly exciting but also kind of dangerous time in the world around us. Look, I mean, this is a time we don't really trust our political leaders, our business leaders, our bankers, our media. We don't know who's leading the world. We don't really know what the United States stands for anymore. But we do know that the world is a place that we increasingly need to understand, and to the extent that I can help even a tiny bit. That's what this show is all about. Look, I think that if you don't like me, you probably won't like the show. But if you're willing to give it a shot, this could end up being fun, and we'll do it together. So what do you say? The GZERO World, I'm Ian Bremmer, and I'm here with you. First, let's get to some headlines today. North Korea, we've been telling them for quite some time, stop it, North Korea, stop you testing those weapons, stop you developing those nukes, you got to be a nuclear-free place. They understand that's not about to happen. Most recently, launching a ballistic missile right across the north of Japan. Japanese waking up, hearing the government say you got to hide in basements because otherwise a missile from North Korea might hit you. It didn't, but nonetheless, what are we going to do about this? Well, we say that we're not going to talk anymore. That's Trump's tweet. Secretary of Defense Mattis says diplomacy is still a possibility. What we know is that the military options are pretty bad. In the near term, the United States is going to squeeze the Chinese harder. And that means economic relations between the world's two largest economies, the U.S. and China, are set to get worse. That's what the North Korea crisis really means right now. That's what we're going to be watching most carefully. And of course, everything that Trump and Kim Jong-un have to say to each other. Second point, Afghanistan. We're sending more troops. How many? Not telling. What's the strategy? None of your business. But Trump's latest strategy on Afghanistan sounds a lot like what Obama was doing. Remember when Obama first came in? He said, not my war, don't want to fight it. Came in, listened to the generals, listened to the people that were back from the Bush administration, ended up with a troop surge. Trump says America first, don't want to fight these losing wars, but now we're going to send more. Why? Because the generals are saying we've got a mission, we've got to accomplish it. We're going to do more diplomacy. Now we're cutting back on the State Department. Humanitarian aid the Afghans need. Now we're cutting back on that too. This isn't a win. You don't go to Afghanistan to win. Ask the Soviets. But it is going to be a lot more years of fighting. At the end of the day, something we'll continue to talk about. How about some better news? Yes, NAFTA. NAFTA? NAFTA. Big trade deal, Trump says worst ever, but behind the scenes, the Americans, the Mexicans, Canadians are actually having constructive conversations about how we can improve it, modernize it, and say that we have a collective trifecta, a win. Is it going to happen? Hard to get these things done. Don't have a lot of time, particularly with Mexican elections next year. But if it doesn't happen, we're not ripping it up. We're just going back to NAFTA. If it does happen, we've got to win, something all three countries and governments can be proud of. Final point, and I have to say it, look at the devastation that we've had in Houston and Southeast Texas. We've had over 51 inches of rain, the worst storm in terms of rainfall the Americans, continental U.S., has ever seen in recorded history. As horrible as it is, and I hope we get through this as quickly with as little human damage as possible. We do live in a bit of a bubble in the United States. I don't know how many of you have also heard about the flooding and the extreme conditions that we've seen just this week in Niger, just this week in Mumbai, in Bangladesh, in Nepal, with a lot more loss of life. Is this extreme climate conditions? Absolutely. Does this feel like climate change? Yes, it does. Is this something we're going to have to talk about a lot more in a leaderless GZERO world? Yes, we will. Hey everybody, I'm Ian Bremmer, and it is almost Labor Day. I'm going to be back to New York very, very soon, but for now I have your world in 60 seconds. They are lined up here. Your questions, let's go. North Korea is its latest missile test over Japan, a significant escalation or just bluster. It is a real escalation. It's telling the Trump administration, you warned us, here you go. Test right over Japan. By the way, we can hit Guam. Next one may be coming that direction. Let's see what the Trump administration does. UK will post-Brexit Britain find new trade partners. Maybe, but don't ask those questions. We need to get to post-Brexit Britain. Right now, that's what Theresa May should be focusing on, because those negotiations are not going well. U.S. is Trump's relationship with Rex Tillerson salvageable? I mean, not like his hangout buddies, let's go drinking relationship, but they can work in the same administration for now, because Tillerson's saying, hey, I disagree with you on stuff. I'm going to say it. I dare you to fire me. Tillerson's not going to get fired anytime soon. We'll see what happens when the Mueller investigation goes up. Pakistan. Do the U.S. and Pakistan have irreconcilable differences? I wouldn't call them irreconcilable, but Pakistan does have an option. It's called China, spending a lot of money. It's going to be hard for the U.S. and Pakistan to maintain the military relationship they presently have. That's your world. I'll be with you next week.
Ian Bremmer, on the motion, Trump has picked a terrific team. Are you yes or no?
No.
I need to tell the people who can only hear this moment that you did a head fake on that one.
I did a head fake on that.
Yeah, you're a no. You are a no.
I am a no. I don't even believe you're a yes, honestly. I think he's screwing with everybody here. Look, no, because first of all, you said, did Trump pick a terrific team, right? You can say there are a lot of competent people, more solid than expected. You can't say, first of all, he didn't pick, you do not pick your relatives, right? Your relatives, they're there, they're stuck with them, they're around. He's like, I gotta give them jobs, so there they are, right? I mean, at least Melania's kind of sidelined, so that's a good thing. But no, Jared and Ivanka, no, and Ben Carson, they wanted a black guy on cabinet, but seriously, I don't know much about Jamel's background, but I know he'd be better at HUD than Ben Carson, right?
I know what it stands for.
Exactly. Rick Perry, he said he wanted to get rid of 3 departments, and the one he couldn't remember on the debate stage, they gave to him. Okay? So, where are we going from this? This is a no.